grandma JoJo was born in Davao City, Philippines on February 5, 1926. She was one of 14 siblings, a few of whom we are humbled and grateful that could be here today.
Mama JoJo, I am so thankful for you. You've seen so much in your life. Priceless advice I will never forget. And because of the way you lived your life, always giving of yourself. While staying true to who you are, I can really look up to you. Because of you, I know how to love with all my heart. And because of you, I will always feel surrounded by love.
My grandma was not only thoughtful and giving, Grandma JoJo was a lot more. She was classy, elegant, and beautiful. She had style and she had grace. In her early years, she landed herself in first place for the Miss Philippines Borong competition. She had a smile of a movie star, and in my eyes, she was more than elegant enough to walk down any red carpet. She was even in the newspaper for her handwriting, something as simple as that, and she was acknowledged for it. She was admired for her work and highly looked up to by her supervisors and peers. For example, this letter of recommendation comes from 1984 as she preps for her retirement. Throughout the years that I have worked with her, she always has been extremely gracious and professional in her work. Another from 1984. As a friend, she is loyal and trustworthy. Her years of outstanding performance and experience as a supervisor have prepared her well for a like position in any long-term care facility. Dated 1986. She is a warm, friendly, and sincere person. She is also sophisticated and well-mannered. Her willingness to help others and her efforts toward achievement of attaining a high quality of life for the disabled is admirable. In 1988, you deserve special recognition for demonstrating such professionalism and honesty. It was evident, but you wouldn't have to know her very long to agree with these quoted statements. I ran across a Bank of America greeting card. This is where she banked. Anyway, that card read, "Josefina, thank you so much for being such a kind person and an amazing customer. We love seeing you every time you come in. Hope you and your family are well. See you soon. Warmest regards, Fred and the Gresham Stark branch." Recently, I had the pleasure of meeting Frederick, the same employee who wrote this card several years ago. He gave me his condolences and shared his memories with me. "She was the sweetest woman who always wore a beanie," he said. Then, as he smiles with a slight giggle, Fred goes on to say that she brought the staff donuts one day and a whole pizza another day. I smiled and said, yes, we are definitely speaking about the same Josefina.
Where do I begin to tell the story of how great a love can be? The sweet love.
She married the love of her life, my Grandpa Don, in 1955. Their love story sounds like a romantic movie. From the Philippines, Grandma Jo was on her way by ship to Hawaii and then off to Philadelphia for more schooling. She shared a room on a ship with another woman whose destination was Hawaii. When the ship docked and everyone was unloading, my grandpa and his girlfriend at the time was there to greet and pick up his cousin who happened to be my grandma's roomie. There they met for the first time, and it was love at first sight. The rest was history, and so was his girlfriend. They shared 50 years together until he passed in 2005. I was never that little girl who fantasized about white dreamy dresses or marriage, but I remember just seeing them together and witnessing the love that my grandpa had for her. It was really a type of love to look up to. Their connection was like no other, and their respect for each other was refreshing. Except I never knew why my grandpa had his own room. Yes, they slept separate. They always have, and it's no secret. One day, I must have been about 7 years old, I got the courage to ask her why. She laughed and said, "Oh, Ling, because your grandpa snores too loud." Whether that was true or not, I'll never know. But that might explain why she always slept on her side with a pillow over her ear, all the time.
We all love you, even me. Thank you for being there for all of us. I keep all my love and memories inside of my heart. I have a bunch of memories of you and me. One is when you gave me all of those Beanie Babies and when we had your 91st birthday at Mama's house. I love you, Mama JoJo. We all miss you so much. You were like an angel floating around. You came from heaven above. You shared all of your compassion, your pain, and your love. You only stayed with us long enough to teach the world to share, to give, to reach. Are you sad that you are in heaven? I hope you are not sad, in pain, or unloved. We will always talk to you when we are saying prayers. We all know that you're right there on our shoulders. We love you so much.
I'll remember you.
Confident, independent, stubborn at times, but a real go-getter. After my grandpa passed, she continued to live on her own because that's the way she wanted it. We even installed one of those I've fallen and can't get up devices in different areas of her place. It was just tacked onto the wall. It wasn't like she had to wear it. But once we installed it, she called 2 days later and asked me to come back and take it down. She didn't feel she needed it and insisted that I take it down. Yes, Grandma, okay. And down it came. There was a day where she made an appointment for a cable company to get her services hooked up, but wanted me to be there during installation. So the cable guy is doing his thing and she pulls me into her bedroom and slips a few dollar bills into my hand and whispers, "Lynn, this is all I have for his tip." And so the whispering argument with my grandma begins as I tried to convince her that he doesn't need a tip. That is his job. I went back and forth a few times before she finally gave in. And when she did, I realized that this was my first win of many battles with her and her generosity of always wanting to give money away.
It's really hard to know that you're not physically here. I wish you were still here. We all do. And we miss you so much. Every day. But I remember in the Troutdale house, whenever you'd had Missy and I over when we were younger, you'd always make us breakfast for dinner. And that was always okay. And it always tasted better at your house. You had these little tiny green army men, just bags and bags of green army men for toys. I remember that. I remember you telling me, study your hardest and work hard and do what you love. I remember you saying, or even showing us, we would be in the car ride, on a car ride home with you, and you would see a homeless person on the street. You could always stop. You'd open your bag and you'd give him money or food, whatever you had, and you always looked at us and you said, whatever you have, anything, just give. Always give. And that's stuck with us, and I think all these lessons, all these conversations we've had with you over the years will really just be the memories that we have to teach our kids and to continue your legacy and to just live a good life. I'm really happy that you're up there with Grandpa. Really am. Really blessed that you lived a very long life and that you were able to meet your great-great-grandson and all your great-grandkids. That truly is a blessing. And I love you and I miss you every day, you and Grandpa every day.
You're almost at a loss of words when it comes to mourning someone you've lost, but there are plenty of words to describe the celebration of someone's life. And Mama JoJo lived a very plentiful, blessed, long life, 91 long years of all of her adventures. You know, I think it's funny, when we think of Mama JoJo, she was always this sweet, pure, innocent, just typical grandma. She didn't bake cookies or anything, but she was just so innocent and pure, and she was what any grandmother is like. But then when you hear stories from, you know, my grandmother or from my dad or my aunties, it's always how Mama was not scolding them, but she was harsher on them. Or when my grandma was younger, she would always get, you know, scoldings, and it's just like we never saw that side of Grandma. And I think that's why it is so hard, because you don't have any bad memories with Mama. They're all so good. And to think that you're not gonna have those moments anymore, you know, it's sad.
The greatest gift Mama JoJo ever gave to me was to share. For example, she gave us candy like 2 days in a row, and all she said was, share with your cousins. And when it was her 91st birthday, the last thing I said to her was, bye, love you, Grandma. And she said to all of us, I love you, kids.
My heart will be beyond the reach.
My mom drove her to the casino on March 22nd and had great conversations with each other. But there was one thing that she mentioned to my mom that will stick with her forever. She said, Lynn, I think this is the last time I'm going to the casino. She passed 2 days later. It's eerie how some people just know.
I pray you'll be our eyes and watch us where we go.
You have to remember all the good memories and celebrate her life rather than mourn her loss. I think that's very important, and my Auntie Linda said that Mama JoJo would never want to see any of us cry. She would never want to see any of us mourn like this. She would always want us to see us happy. And I think that's so important.
Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe.
Hi, baby, Grandmama. Just a call to say thank you so much for yesterday. Yesterday I had a good time, baby. Thank you. I hope you get rested. Okay, thanks a lot, and thanks my darling husband of yours. Supper. I love you. Bye-bye.
Let this be our prayer. When shadows fill our day. Epaulela.
Hi, Grandma. Okay, say hi to the kids. Love you. Bye-bye.
Because of you, looming higher.